दोस्तों जिंदगी में जब मौका मिले कोई बिजनेस करने का, कोई धंधा करने का, तो भाई यूनाइटेड स्टैंड गाय जैसा बिजनेस करना भाई। बिकॉज हाउ ही हैज नॉट गॉटन दैट हेयर कट जिस पे ज्यादा बात हो रही थी इंस्टेड ऑफ द मैच बिफोर गोइंग इनटू दिस मैच अगेंस्ट वेस्ट हैम यूनाइटेड, जहां हमने देखा नूनो एस्पिरिटो सैंटोस की हराम बॉल। भाई दैट वाज अ मास्टर क्लास फ्रॉम नूनो एस्पिरिटो सैंटोस। मैंने मैच से पहले स्ट्रीम में बोला था कि भाई ये बंदा हरामी फुटबॉल खेलेगा भाई। दिस वाज जस्ट अ मास्टर क्लास फ्रॉम नूनो एस्पिरिटो सैंटोस एंड दिस वाज वन ऑफ those chapters from the books of peak Jose Mourinho। जी हाँ, जब आप जोजे मोरिनियो की टीम देखते थे भाई, हाउ दे वर सो कॉम्पैक्ट एट द बैक भाई, वहां पे जो वो लोएस्ट ऑफ द लो ब्लॉक्स खेलते थे भाई। दिस वाज जस्ट दैट फ्रॉम नूनो एस्पिरिटो सेंटोस, हाउ वेल ही हैड सेट अप दिस यूनाइटेड टीम भाई। कैरिक didn't have any answers because no, we tried to hurt them centrally। जैसे आप बोलो, आप एवरेज पोजीशन प्लेयर्स देखो, we tried to hurt them centrally all 90 minutes, didn't create much just because they were set up so brilliantly in that lowest of the low blocks। उनके center backs देखो, center midfielders देखो भाई, थॉमस सूचैक भाई, what a brilliant master class from थॉमस सूचैक। 12 किलोमीटर उस बंदे ने भागा है भाई वो आज, from central midfielder to get that goal at the in the 50th minute भाई, to hurt United on that counter attack from West Ham United। भाई उन्होंने बोवेन और सोमरवेल को कहा था भाई तुम लोगों ने विंग्स पे से रन्स बनानी है, एंड सेंट्रली दे वर सो कॉम्पैक्ट, दे वर नॉट गिविंग सो मच स्पेसेस फ्रॉम फॉर मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड टू हर्ट देम भाई। कोबी माइनो, कैसेमीरो, ब्रूनो फर्नांडिस didn't get much of the space to hurt them because we were trying to attack them centrally instead of on the wings। We should have provided that width by the end of the game, but bhai could have won that agonizingly, that header that went wide from Joshua Zirkzee। bhai Carrick के जो substitutes है ना, they have been brilliant भाई। डालो को लेके जाना, जेक्सी को लाना, सेस्को को लाना, I think that was great भाई। What a brilliant finish from Benjamin Šeško, once again rescuing a point for Manchester United भाई। Other than that भाई, I think Casemiro का अगर बाइसेप थोड़ा सा बड़ा ना होता तो could have scored that goal as well, क्योंकि वो एक brilliant क्रॉस था कोबी माइनो की तरफ से। Casemiro again to get into that position भाई just shows how big of a mentality player he is भाई, to get into those clutch positions, being a clutch player for the opposition। Of course ऐसी high intensity games में I always say that in high intensity games performances don't matter much भाई। पिछले 6 games में like West Ham United were undefeated against Manchester United in the last 6 games, so we had to get something right। मैंने last में बोला था भाई this is gonna be a very difficult game because West Ham United were the team in form as well along with Manchester United in the league, so this was going to be a very difficult so कैरिक की जो रन है दैट इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन, दिस इज स्टिल अनडिफिटेड, लेकिन यूनाइटेड स्टैंड के बाल नहीं कर पाएंगे बिकॉज यूनाइटेड डिडंट विन अगेंस्ट वेस्ट हैम यूनाइटेड। कुड हैव डन इन द फर्गी टाइम अगेन विद दैट जोशुआ ज़िरक्ज़ी एंड देन सेस्को स्कोरिंग टू गेट इट 1-1, but I would say the amount of chances we created, we were lucky to get even that one goal because we didn't create much। 0.62 का आपका XG है। We had only 7 crosses in a game which needed crosses। We were trying to create something centrally which we couldn't because they were not letting us on the ball that much। आप पोजेशन वो रखने दे रहे थे, लेकिन भाई 65% पोजेशन का आपने अचार डालना है जब आपने 0.62 का XG क्रिएट किया है। We didn't create much with the ball, so this was the difference between the last 4 games and this game। United had more of the ball। ऑफ द बॉल जैसे कैरिक की टीम सेटअप हुई है इन द लास्ट 4 मैचेस, ऑपोजिशन को हमने बॉल रखने दिया है एंड वी हिट देम ऑन द काउंटर अटैक और द नंबर ऑफ चांसेस दैट वी क्रिएटेड सेंट्रली, we didn't create much from the width। So in these sort of lowest of the low blocks, you need width, you need players in the box more। Yes, we had 21 I think touches in there in the final third, but we didn't create much। So this is how brilliantly Nuno Espírito Santo was set up against this Michael Carrick। And of course, मैंने बोला था यार, this is not gonna last forever। This run, this stretching run from Michael Carrick, this will end somehow। We are still undefeated, of course, in 9 games, but These are the sort of matches that will decide the top four or the top five in the league. I've always said that we have struggled in the past against these sides, against West Ham Uniteds, against Evertons, which create lowest of the low blocks and जो आपको midfield आपका पूरा compact कर देती है. Matthews Fernandes again, West Ham United, brilliant. It was a brilliant game. Somerville को देख लो, आप Bowen को देख लो. I think that goal that was most of Luke Shaw भाई. Luke Shaw इन डालो के साथ आप खैर खास कुछ विड्थ प्रोवाइड भी नहीं कर सकते. सो क्या ही मैं बोलूं भाई, डालो के साथ आपने क्या ही करना है, कुछ नहीं कर सकते आप. ल्यूक शॉ अगेन मेकिंग दैट एरर. ऑफ कोर्स ही हैड अ रन ऑफ गुड गेम्स, लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स ही कैंट, बिकॉज आपने लेफ्ट बिल्कुल खाली छोड़ दिया था वहां पे. बोवेन वाज ऑल अलोंग. सुचेक वन दैट बॉल एंड देन मेड दैट स्पेस, रन इनटू द बॉक्स. लीचा मार्टिनेज के पीछे से निकल गया, पता भी नहीं चला भाई. So yeah, Harry Maguire injured, players looked fatigued. This was all no adding up to this game. Of course, players को शायद आदत भी नहीं है 2 games in a week खेलने की, because we have no Europe this year. So yeah, fatigue was clearly showing up. Bruno Fernandes had more of a quiet game, and I think Amad Diallo also had a very poor game. And Bumo, that cross was not that much great as much as was the finish from Benjamin Šeško, again being that clutch player. भाई बर्बाडोव के साथ जो ट्रेनिंग सेशंस हो रहे थे सेस्को के, this was one of those Berbatov finishes भाई. I would say how calmly, how coolly he finished that. Brilliant भाई, brilliant from Benjamin Šeško. This was just his class that proved to be that equalizer for Manchester United in Fergie time once again. सो दोस्तों यही था थोड़ा सा मैच का रिव्यू. अगर पसंद आया हो तो भाई लाइक जरूर कर देना वीडियो को, और अगर आप नए हो चैनल पे तो सब्सक्राइब किए बिना बिल्कुल नहीं जाना. डू लेट मी नो योर थॉट्स इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. क्या आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे ये ड्रॉ, which could have been a defeat? So I would say this is 1 point gain rather than like 2 points drop, because we could have dropped all 3 points on this. In this West Ham side looked so good on off the ball. उनकी भाई movement, Aaron Wan-Bissaka saving that goal line clearance from Luke Shaw in the first half, that was also one of the key points in the match as well. So yeah, overall I think most of the concentration of the play was in the midfield. In the central areas, we didn't create much because the central areas were all blocked. Could have gone from the wings, put more crosses in the box, get more bodies in the box. Casemiro, Sesko, we have height advantages. So this is where I think Carrick could have done more instead of trying to create something centrally, which we didn't. And yes, in these sort of matches, you have to try to test the goalkeeper. We didn't try to test their goalkeeper. You have to take shots from outside the box. You have so good shooters by in Bruno Fernandes, in Kobe Mino. Casemiro can also shoot from outside the box. So this is the type of plan B should have, a manager should have. And I think Carrick will learn slowly. And this was one of those matches that we had to get a result in somehow, rather than no good performance. So we needed points. Of course, Cole Palmer का जो miss था open goal, that still puts Chelsea 5th in the table and United are 4th in the table now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. मिलते हैं next video में, podcast में, watch along में. तब तक take care. Good night.